It's glad to have you join us on the Value Chain TV News Updates. I am S.A. Ufoma with the news. And on the news update, Nigeria's Supreme Court has delivered judgment in the case brought by the federal government against the 36 state governors concerning local government autonomy. Kabir Lawal has the details.
In the suit, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi San sought full autonomy and direct fund allocation to 777 local governments in the country. Based on 27 grounds, the federal government accused the state governors of gross misconduct and abuse of power. The federal government requested the Supreme Court to order that funds allocated to local governments from the Federation account be paid directly to the local governments, bypassing the state governments. Additionally, the government sought an order of injunction restraining the governors, their agents, and privies from receiving, spending, or tampering with funds released from the Federation account for the benefit of local governments when no democratically elected government system is in place in the states. In the lead judgment, read by Justice Emmanuel Agim, the Apex Court declared it unconstitutional for governors to hold on to funds meant for local government administrations. Justice Agim noted that the state government refusal to grant financial autonomy to local government has persisted for over 2 decades. According to him, local governments have been deprived of funds intended for them by state governors who act in their stead. For Valuchen TV, Kabir Lawal reporting.
The Middle Belt Forum and the Northern Youth Council of Nigeria has criticized President Bola Tinubu for creating the Ministry of Livestock Development, saying it won't solve the farmers' headers crisis but would also add to the bloated cost of governance. Value Chain TV had earlier reported that President Bola Tinubu has approved the creation of a new Ministry of Livestock Development, setting up a committee mandated to provide sector-focused solutions to address the age-long farmers' headers crisis. Meanwhile, the President Arewa Youth Consultative Forum, Yerima Shetima, and the immediate past National Chairman of Inter-Party Advisory Council and National Chairman of the Action Democratic Party, Ibaji Sani, has applauded the initiative by the government. The federal government has declared that prices of food items would crash in the next 180 days. The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, disclosed this on his official X handle. He explained that the projection follows strategic measures already being taken to address the high food prices nationwide. The minister hinted that imported food commodities would be subjected to a recommended retail price to maintain the required and acceptable standard. Some Nigerians who spoke to Value Chain TV expressed their views regarding this development. The report.
I think this is all about the political games, what they usually do. I don't think things will actually calm down anytime soon. So if things must calm down, it should start from the Senate. Do you get? They should know how to regularize everything that has to do with the salaries and every other thing to make things better for the society. Because if you are telling us food security and whatnot, I don't think anything like that is going to happen next 2025. 2025, we should be looking out for the worst to come.
The thing is even overwhelming because if you check out, there's no how that there will be food supply without petrol. And if you can see what's going on now, there's like this, we're lacking petrol. Like even if you see petrol, it's 700. So I don't think that food supply will work because if there is no transportation, how do they bring food? And the more the transport get high, the more food supply get low. It's like that, it's indefinite like that. It's like that. Can't change it. So to me, government are just they are scamming us. We're above the second quarters. There's nothing. Things are getting high for the low and poor masses. But if you look at it, the rich, they become more richer. The poor get more poor. So I always see all those things as, in short, me, I just work and try and get something. I don't look at the government, say, and put it in my head and work with it.
The truth of everything about this country is that we don't even feel anything anymore, because as it stands, you can see that nobody is even happy. Look at how people are trekking. No fuel, no food, no light. Nothing is working. But most important thing, that food that is at least is so important to the layman out there. Federal government cannot be playing football with their own citizens. At least they've seen what is happening in Kenya. We pray that such should not happen in Nigeria, because if it happens, believe me, I don't think they can be brutal like Nigerians. It's all that we all know what happened in NSAS. This time around it will be NSAS times 10, because even as I'm going to my working place and I'm not happy. Because most times, look, a bag of rice as at yesterday, my wife showed me that it's 80-something K. We managed to buy half, and that half now, how long will it stay? So federal government cannot be promising everybody. Tinubu did not say all these things before when he was running up and down for his campaign. If these people are not okay, if they are not, as we try to say, let me just use this way, if they are not strong enough to rule this country, they should just step aside, let the people who can do it enter there. Because it stands now, we cannot say we have all this empty land and we are still arguing about food.
The Corporate Affairs Commission has announced that it will cancel the Certificate of Incorporation of Bureau de Change, whose licenses were revoked by the Central Bank of Nigeria earlier this year. CSC said this in a statement on its website, and the certificates would be cancelled within 3 months if the affected companies do not change the names and objects of such companies. The Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers and Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, NUPENG, has urged President Bola Tinubu to support the Dangote refinery and investigate the allegations by its officials that some international oil companies were plotting to sabotage the success of the facility. Chet Moses completes the report.
In a letter dated July 1st and sent to the President through his Chief of Staff, Femi Gbajabiamila, the unions said they were deeply concerned and shocked by the current and recent unusual allegations by the Dangote Refinery and Petrochemicals Company of a deliberate plot by some international oil companies to frustrate their business efforts and continued existence. The letter, jointly signed by the Secretary of NUPENG, Olawale Afolabi, and his Pengassan counterpart, Lumumba Okwagbawa, noted that the alleged sabotaging actions reportedly included denying the refinery crude oil supply and artificially inflating market prices of the crude oil to the company, thereby forcing the refinery to source crude oil from other countries, with attendant high operating costs and logistics. The petroleum workers asked the federal government to set up an independent panel to investigate the claims of sabotage by some IOCs, saying these investigations should be comprehensive and transparent, ensuring that all parties involved were held accountable. They also demanded public disclosure of the findings of the investigations to ensure transparency and maintain public trust, as Nigerians deserve to know the truth about the actions of the IOCs and their impact on national interest. For Value Chain TV, Chat Moses reporting.
The Minister of State Petroleum Resources, Ekwerikwe Ekpo, has pledged his ministry's commitment to partnering and supporting indigenous firms to deliver President Bola Tinubu's promises in the gas sector to Nigerians. This was revealed during a visit to the company's chairman, Chief Executive Dr. Lemon Ikpia, who also conducted the minister on a tour of the firm's multi-billion naira manufacturing and fabrication yard. Ekpo lauded the management of Lee Engineering for their massive investment and commitment to Nigeria's oil and gas sector growth, assuring the ministry's support for indigenous firms like Lee to deliver the benefits of the gas sector to Nigerians. The United States Agency for International Development and the Federal Ministry of Power signed a memorandum of understanding aimed at securing Nigeria's commitment to electricity sector reforms, market transparency, liquidity, and expanding access to affordable power. Anastasia Adesi completes the report.
The MOU signed USAID Nigeria Mission Director Melissa Jones and the Permanent Secretary Federal Ministry of Power Mahmouda Maman to support the implementation of 115.2 billion naira US dollars government-funded Ground Technical Assistance Program intended to support power sector development and reforms in Nigeria. Both parties announced this in a statement issued in Abuja by Nigerian Ministry of Power. More than 85 million Nigerians are not connected to the national grid, while many have suffered from unreliable power supply. With these challenges, many Nigerian families and businesses rely on expensive emission-intensive petrol and diesel backup generators. The nation's electricity sector's long-standing challenges impair industrial growth and economic competitiveness, rural development, health and education sector performances, as well as the overall economic growth and development. Jones reiterated the U.S. government's commitment to improving electrification in Nigeria. For Value Chain TV, Anastasia Adeze reporting.
The Nigeria Customs Services, Sokoto, Zamfara State's Area Command has seized and auctioned 55,164 liters of petroleum product to members of the public. Speaking while declaring the sales of the intercepted products, the area comptroller Haji Kamal Mohammed said the command is ever ready to clamp down on the smugglers operating within the command's area of jurisdiction. He noted that despite the subsidy removal, Nigerian petrol is much cheaper, adding that the PMS price margin between Nigeria and other West African countries has made smuggling of the products much more profitable. And that's it on the Value Chain TV News Update. I am S.A. Ufoma. Thanks for watching.